Man, that is a lovely picture of my dirty ass pool in the background. Yeah, I got my priorities backwards, alright? Or do I have them straightwards? That's right, fixing my boat instead of cleaning my pool. Anybody got a problem with that? Just go to another channel, alright? Anyways, so I was staring at my box the other day, trying to come up with solutions, and thank you to everybody who gave me some ideas. But I was sitting here staring at it, and I was thinking about the foam, and then the foam made me think of that great stuff. This great stuff that's great, and it's really great stuff. So you spray it into things and it foams and expands and it creates a solid thing that you can then like carve and sand. So I mean, it's used for like filling cracks and that kind of thing in your basement. But anyways, I figured I could spray it down into these areas, and then I could let the foam do its thing and expand, and then I could carve it to the shape I want it, and then fiberglass that shape instead of going through the trouble of building and constructing a box and making sure that that's all right and measuring and cutting and screwing and all that nonsense. I figured, why not just spray some crap down there, let it foam up. When it's dried and cured, carve out the shape of the box, including even maybe like the drain shape. And then once that is, you know, all set, I could then take the fiberglass cloth and stuff and then mold it to that shape to make it all waterproof. Got our compartment all foamed up the way I wanted it to. I'm gonna let this do its thing. It's gonna expand some more. It's gonna get hard, and then tomorrow we'll, you know, start cutting it out and sanding it to get that, you know, that nice shape that we want, and then hopefully we'll be able to fiberglass over that, and that'll keep this whole area nice and at least watertight from getting down to the cabin. Hopefully the solution works. So let's let this cure through the magic of YouTube editing. We'll just wiggle our fingers like this, and it should be done. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. All right, and there we go. That's what the foam looks like, all cured up in here. There. Only problem is, this is lower than the hole. So I need to raise this up, and what I did was I had these pieces of foam. So I'm going to attempt to put these in here and raise it up a little bit, put some more foam around, and you know, that should give us the base we need before we start carving into it. The other thing I saw at the store was this for $1.50. Figured maybe I could put this in here too, just as, you know, another little area to throw smaller things that you don't want rolling around. So I'll cut out a little section there to rest that in, and then foam that in there along with everything else. All right, so yeah, there's the second application let it do its thing for a little bit, and you know, maybe we'll give it another overnight and come back at it tomorrow, and maybe then we can start carving things out. Magic time lapse. All right, here we are on the next day. I think we've got a decent shape to work with. So yeah, I think that that did the trick. There's enough there for me to kind of shape it roughly the way I want, so then when I put the fiberglass down on top of it, you know, any water that's coming in will flow in the direction I want it to flow. And yeah, again, I like how this little thing came out, so you could throw, you know, whatever in there. But yeah, let's get to it. Alright, got all my fiberglassing stuff here. Got the resin, got the cloth, got the old spreaders, got some hardener, and I got myself a brush and some little tins to mix it all up in up there. It's been a while since I've used the fiberglass. I don't know, let's just see how it goes, alright? So yeah, like I said, the resin certainly has a time limit. That seemed like a lot less than 8 minutes to me, but everything got all gelled and clobbered, and yeah. So it looks like 3/4 of a cup was probably a little too much to work with. Maybe I'll try a half cup this time. My paintbrush is now as hard as a rock, but that's alright. I can still spread the crap on, no problem. So to save time, my next batch, I actually laid out all my patches ahead of time. So I figured instead of fishing for the right patch, maybe that'll save a few seconds and it'll make things a little bit easier. Alright, let's go for batch number 2. For some reason, I thought that I was going to be able to push this stuff around real easy with a brush that was rock hard, but no, it wasn't that easy, and the brushes kept on like scraping things around. So then I kind of bailed on the parts that were more curvy and attempted to just kind of do it on the flat parts, and that wasn't that much better, but a little bit better. So I think at this point I'm gonna go scour around my garage for some more brushes, because the brush is the way to go. Guys!
Yeah?
Guess what I was doing?
What?
Well, you guys were at school.
What?
Fiberglassing.
What is fiberglassing?
It's making a mess with your fingers. And then you interrupted me.
What?
And now I have to keep fiberglassing because I wasn't finished fiberglassing.
What? What does that even mean?
Yes. Alright guys, basically I got home from dropping the kids off at school and continued to go at it, and this is the end result. It's not pretty at all. Hey, guys, I'm trying to make a sailboat vlog here. Can you calm down? Anyways, it's not the prettiest looking thing in the world, but I believe it is at least functional. Maybe with some trimming and some painting it won't look half bad either. If you're anything like me, you probably don't read directions. But if you do read directions, you probably have a tendency to ignore them. And I'm here to tell you, keep it up, alright? Because if something says to wear gloves, it doesn't mean anything. You don't have to wear gloves if you don't want to wear gloves, because there's going to be nothing wrong with that. Alright? Directions are for suckers. Take it from me. There's just no reason for it. Alright? Alright, here I am the day after I did all that fiberglass work to the cockpit hatch lazarette area. And this is usually where it leaks from. And it is pouring rain out right now. I just got home from work and it's been pouring rain all day. So I said to myself, I gotta jump on that boat and see if there's any leaks. And it is perfectly dry here. So yeah, that repair worked. Although I am noticing one of the bolts to the ladder is leaking. So that's something I gotta take a look at. But at least we know the work I did yesterday paid off. Alright everybody, I just came out here to kind of touch up the fiberglass work we did the other day with the Dremel, and you know, shave off some of the sharp parts and sand things and grind things down. And like I said yesterday, it was raining, and I did notice that, you know, the job worked. We did it, you know, it was effective. But when I came out here to check this out, the foam that I put down is like starting to bubble up. I think, yeah, there's some like moisture under there. There were some patches that didn't get completely covered in the fiberglass resin. I think some water seeped down into. I should have just done this from the beginning and put plywood down and then fiberglass over the plywood. That would have worked a lot better than the foam. Plus, at the end of that whole job, at the end of the day, I was getting tired and I was getting lazy and I was just dumping shit everywhere. And some areas did not get adequate coverage. So, long story short, I'm going to rip this bottom part out and get that done right. So I started taking out the bottom part here, and the bad news is there's a lot more than just a little bit of water. Yeah, that's a lot of water. The good news is that water is contained in this hatch, so that means that great stuff foam was good enough to seal off all those areas that it was leaking. So that is the good news. However, great stuff is not advertised really as a sealant. So there's a chance that over time water could seep into the seams. So obviously we want this whole compartment to be completely waterproof so water does not get under there. And yeah, so we got to make sure we're doing that. Safety goggles. Just some paint I had lying around in the garage, nothing special, but just to kind of cover things up a little bit. Alright, so it's all painted up. I kind of ran out of some colors, and so it's like blue and white in there now. But hey, nobody's really going to be looking at it anyways. It's just a little place to store some crap, like my fenders, or even a gas can. I don't know. But again, the paint acts like a second layer of sealant, sealing up any tiny little holes. But should be good to go. So the only thing left to do now is to get some wood and cut some pieces to put here and here, so that when the lid's down, it will kind of catch on that and hold some weight. So I guess let's do that. Alright, well, it might not be perfect, but does the trick. Holds the weight, and more importantly, keeps water out. This stays a little bit dry after I put this little flappy thing in there. And now it's just time for a water test. Water test action. Alright, so I think that's going to wrap it up. We'll call that project Dunsky. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll make it a little bit prettier, but it functions now, and that's the important part. No water gets inside the boat because of this piece of crap. It's now not a piece of crap, it's a functional thing. I can take some fenders, throw it in there, close it, and have a great day. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you like these videos, like them and subscribe. If you really like these videos, please become a patron. Support the cause, even if it's $1 a month. You know, yeah, every little bit helps, and I can put that money back to this boat, and I can keep on making these videos, and everybody's happy. Alright guys, take care, have a good one.